Welcome to the morning. It is Monday. It is December the 16th. 8 more shopping days until Christmas, 6 more days until my wife's birthday. I want to talk about cable television. So, the Wall Street Journal did a piece, and I'll link to it below, in which they sort of put a bunch of things that have been out in the ether together, a bunch of stats that have been out in the ether together about cable TV, and specifically MSNBC and CNN. And I'm going to put a chart or two down below. One of these is from Bubba Atkinson, who writes a great thing called Bubba News. If you don't subscribe to it, I'll put a link down below. But here's the essence. MSNBC and CNN are struggling mightily. So MSNBC's audience is down 50%, 50% from pre-election. CNN's audience is down 46%. And the issue here is the audiences weren't all that high to start with, right? There's been a long-term slide in broadcast TV and cable TV in terms of viewership. But this is pretty dire stuff. Now, I will note Fox News, which to me, candidly, is a little bit more of an entertainment channel than a news channel. They talk about the news a lot. There are a few people on that network that do the news, Brett Baer, but a lot of it is more entertainment than news. Regardless, they're up right now, but down in the overall long-term trend. And that to me is what matters. So I just think what you're seeing here, we've talked about it over and over, but I just think it's probably the most important story, or one of the most important stories out there, is the cable TV era is ending. It is coming to an end more abruptly, candidly, than I thought, but it is coming to an end. Viewership, I think, will bump back up for MSNBC. It'll bump back up for CNN a little bit when Donald Trump is inaugurated. He becomes president. He starts doing things. People who are disengaged right now because Trump won will get re-engaged when he starts doing things. Like these people who are very anti-Trump are not going to stay away from the news for the next 4 years. They're going to get re-engaged at some point, and some will go to CNN, and I would say most will go to MSNBC. But the reality is, it's just people are going to other places, right? Everyone called 2024 the podcast election. I'd call it the alternative media election. Substack, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I can't say YouTube enough. Podcasting for sure, but I mean, that's on YouTube as well. So we now have more sources of information than we've ever had before. And these cable TV giants are starting to look like old broadcast TV giants, right? They're just not doing the things that people want in terms of consuming their news. To me, you're seeing a lot of bifurcation of the news, right? So you're seeing lots on the far right and lots on the far left. That's why, look, I'm trying to occupy the middle space, right? I'm trying to occupy sometimes Democrats do dumb stuff, sometimes Republicans do dumb stuff. I'm going to call them both out and hold them both accountable. So I'm trying to hold that middle space, and I think it's really important to hold that middle space, particularly now as these media giants start to crumble and independent creators and alternative media rise. We can't just have a totally partisan media. I think we have to have some people who are calling balls and strikes, not just saying every pitch that Donald Trump throws is a strike or every pitch that Donald Trump throws is a ball. Check out the data in the post. Read the journal piece if you can. Subscribe to Bubba's newsletter for sure. It's a great source of information. But it all speaks to this longer term decline that we are not just in the midst of, but I think the decline kind of went like this, and now it's starting to sort of sink at the bow, these cable networks. So check out the numbers and realize we are in a new era of media, which means we are in a new era of how politicians use media, how media people do their jobs. It's an absolute sea change, and I think you need to be aware of it because it's a sort of a fundamental tectonic plate shifting. All right, everybody, take care.